What's up guys, this is Chris from VFXON, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make this audio react. Okay, so this is a pretty sweet looking audio react, and I can say that it will take a long time to make one. Just warning you ahead that it might take 2 parts, so but you know I'm maybe not, so let's just stop talking and let's jump into making this. Okay, so here I have my After Effects open, and first things first, we need new comp. I'm gonna name this main. Okay, and we need another comp. I'm gonna name this audio A, and another one audio B. I'm not pausing to show you what settings I'm using because you can pause your screen yourself, not your screen but your video, so I'm not really worrying about that. I'm gonna call this song here. Okay, so now that we have all these layers, I'm gonna for now only focus on audio A, and I also need my song in here. Okay, so I have my song in here, and I'm just gonna drag it here in song here. I'm gonna close this comp for now, and I'm gonna drag this comp song here into audio A comp. And now we go to layer, new adjustment layer, and let's search for audio in our effects, and we need audio spectrum. Let's drag that in, and we're gonna change these settings to 1920. In here to 0, audio layer song here, frequency bands to 98, maximum height to 1640, that's okay, thickness to 9.3, and softness to 40, and let's change the side options to side A, inside color to this, and outside color to this. And I'm gonna call this layer audio, and we have to duplicate it, so this will be audio 2, and we have to change few settings. Sorry, maximum height, we're gonna change that to 1590, 1590, 1990, and thickness to 19.2, and softness the same, and side to B. And for the inside color I'm going to use this, and for the outside color I'm going to use this. Now we need to add fast blur effect, and we're going to change that to vertical and put that to 12. And we also need Gaussian blur. I think that's how you pronounce it. Gaussian, I don't know really. Okay, and we need to set that to 85.5, and we need also glow. Okay, and in the glow we're gonna change the glow threshold to 46.3, glow radius to 30, glow intensity that's the same, and yeah, these settings are the same. And let's go here into transform and set the opacity to 12. And now we need to duplicate this layer once more. And just so I would work with only one layer, not get confused, I'm gonna turn off these. I'm gonna work with only one layer. Okay, so in this layer I'm gonna change the maximum height to 2210, thickness to the same, and that's the same, side the same, and blurriness to 171. And the Gaussian blur, I'm gonna change that to 20.5, and in the glow I'm gonna change glow threshold to 0, that's the same. And okay, so these settings are fine. And the opacity we have to change. We have to change the opacity to 8. Okay, and we again have to duplicate this layer, turn this off. Okay, and in this layer we have changed maximum height to 2290, frequency bands to 78, thickness to, that's okay. We only have to change the colors. So inside color was this. Let's change it. Outside color that. Change it. Okay. And opacity to 22. And we only need the fast blur. No glow. Only fast blur. And blurriness to 918. And let's see, oh, the audio layer 3, we have changed the frequency bands to 78. And also we have to do the same in audio 2. Now let's turn all of them back on. Okay, and so this is how it looks all together with all layers turned on. Okay, and now we're gonna go and work with the side B. Project side B, and we're gonna turn on the motion blur also in here, and we can close side audio A, drag this in, and again layer, new adjustment layer, audio spectrum, and pretty much restart all again. Okay, so we have to change these settings. So start, we'll put here 0, and here will be 9820. Frequency bands to 98. Maximum height to 1640. Thickness to 9.3. Softness to 40. Inside color to this. And outside color to this, and side option we'll put that to B, and also change that to sound here, and now duplicate it. Okay, so maximum height in this will be 2290, thickness to 90.2, softness the same, color is the same, but this time we need fast blur, and we'll change that to 72, and we're gonna put vertical. Okay, and let's go to transform and set the opacity to 5. We're gonna duplicate this layer, and again we have to work with these settings. Maximum height will be 1590. Thickness the same, softness the same, color, inside color to this, and outside color to this, and the fast blur will be 12, and we also need Gaussian blur, and we have to change, oh I can scroll, okay, we have to change that to 85.5. Vertical and horizontal, and we also need glow. Okay, and we're gonna set the glow threshold to 46.3, glow radius to 30, and these settings are pretty much the same. Okay. And let's go to transform and change the opacity to 12, and we're gonna duplicate this layer, and we have to change again a few settings. So maximum height will be 2210, thickness is the same, that all is the same, and fast blur will be 171. And the Gaussian blur will be 20.5, and glow will be 0. And we have to set the opacity to 8. Let's duplicate this layer. And let's set the opacity to 22. Close that down. Oops. And maximum height will be 2290. And those settings are the same except for the colors. We need these colors. Okay. I think I'm going pretty fast right here, and if you can't keep up, just pause or rewind and watch the part that you didn't get again, because like I said, I just want to go through this as quickly as I can because this is a very, very long tutorial. Okay, and the blur is 918. Now I have to check if the sides are correct. So both audio A and audio 4 and audio 3 has to be A. So change that, and now let's turn all of them on. And now we have to rearrange them in this order. So basically audio 2, audio 3, and audio 4 and audio 5. And it looks like this. I hope it does look the same for you. Okay, so it looks for me like this. I hope it looks the same for you. Okay, so we now have to move forward. And now let's go to main and put both audio A and audio B inside our main. And overall it looks like this for now. And now let's go to layer, new, solid, and I'm gonna use this color right here. Move it here, and using this I'm gonna create a mask like that. Obviously I'm not gonna be able to recreate exactly as I did in the preview, but I'm gonna try to make it as close as I can. Okay, so mask and mask feather to 463, mask opacity 33, mask expansion to 159, transform mask opacity opacity to 57. So overall it currently looks like this. I hope it does look the same for you. Okay, and now I'm gonna go and type the song title. I'm using Arial Rounded, and I think I used something like this. It really doesn't matter about the text that much right now. I'm just gonna create as I think it looked, and yeah, I'm just gonna Control D. Move it. That's gonna be the main, and that's gonna be the small one. I'm gonna scale that down. Like that. Okay. Control D both of these, and just move it to the other side. Okay, move this here, and I think it was 119. Okay, I'm gonna rename this counting time. Okay, and so now let's go to counting time, text, source, and alt click on the stopwatch and write down this expression. I'm not gonna say what you have to write just to save the time. Just pause and write down this expression. So now it will count down the time. As you can see, if I move forward, it starts to count down. Okay, I've changed that to half. Okay, and it actually starts to look pretty decent. Okay, so now let's go to layer, new adjustment layer, and I'm gonna name it particular. Okay, so now let's go to we need trap code particular. Okay, put that on, and now we are gonna adjust few settings. Okay, so for now we're gonna leave this alone. We're gonna only focus on a few other things. So box, okay, position, that's 0, velocity 120, okay, and emitter size X will be 1951. Emitter size Y will be 253. Emitter size Z will be 110. Well, you can play around with these settings. As you can see, if I go with the Z space, it basically moves them around either forward or backwards more. Okay, next, particles. Okay, particles life is 0.5. Life random, no. Sphere feather is 100. Size is 2. Size random 0 at birth. Okay, so opacity is 100. Okay, so obviously I don't remember all of these settings just from my mind. I am reading them off, but I hope it doesn't ruin anything like that. So let's go for physics, air. Okay, let's open that up. Air. So gravity is -70. So that way they're going up. Physics time factor is 1. Air resistance 0, 0, 1, and so wind Y is -251. Okay, and let's see what else do we need to change. Do we need to change anything? Visibility, I think not. Let's see, render. Yeah, so these settings are okay. I'm gonna close this for now. Okay, now we need to add glow. Glow threshold is 60, 10. Pretty much all of these settings are the same except for the color. We have changed that. Color A is this, and color B is that. And next we need compound. Okay, where do I find that? Compound blur. Okay, we need that. And maximum blur is 1. Okay, like that. Okay, no, actually we have to go to layer, new, solid, and let's name it particles, and we're gonna simply copy all of the effects in the adjustment layer, and we're gonna pass them onto our solid, and we can delete this adjustment. Now they're here. So yeah, I think we have to move them just a bit up so that you can see them. Although, wait, I think we were able to adjust them like that. I think. Need to place this right here, and that's right there. That would go up about like that. Okay, so about like this. Okay, and now let's go to layer, new, solid, and let's put it on black, and I'm gonna name it lens flare. Oops, not lens flare or whatever. lens flare, and well, actually I should call it optical flare, but it's kind of too late, so yeah. Okay, optical flare options, natural flare, and blue steel. And we have to hide multi-iris, this one and this one. Then we have to hide the sparkle, and then we have to hide the lens orb and hoop, and click OK. And this is what we have. And let's change the position to 2172, and here to 526. And center position, that's okay. Brightness scale, okay. Tint, okay. And all on transparent, like that, okay. And now we just duplicate this one, and we change the position to -186. And here it's, well, that's the same, okay. So like this. Okay, and now I'm gonna turn off the particles and only leave the lens flares. So let's go to Audio B in Song here, and right click, Keyframe Assistant, convert audio to keyframes. And that will create an adjustment layer right here. And if we go and drop down effects, we have left channel, right channel, and both channels. So control click and select left and right channel and delete them. Now go and drop down and alt click, no, not yet. Let's see. We'll go into graph editor, alt click then, and it will open up the expression tab or window right there. And what we need to do is we need to type linear brackets volume comma, and now we need to find the lowest keyframe that we have. So let's see, 0.59 units. Here you can see that units is the volume. So let's see, well, I'm gonna go with 1 because I'm not gonna type 0 comma because I just 1 is good, and comma, and now the highest volume. And I would say it's 75. Yeah, it's 70. Well, I'm gonna type 74 and comma, and now you have to type the volume, and this is basically, that's gonna change how bright will the lens flare be. And this specific volume that we're gonna type right now will be how what will be the lowest that the brightness can go. For example, if I will type 0, it will pretty much just go out, and you just have to decide how low you want it to be. So I'm going to type 3, and now the highest, how bright can it be? So obviously 100 is the max, and if you want that, then just type 100, and I'm going to do that and close the brackets. Okay, and now just simply, well, I'm going to copy this, Control C, go into main, pass it right here. I'm gonna rename it lens flare audio. Okay, and now go to drop down effects, both channels, and let's click on lens flare. Go I think it was alt click. No, it was not. No, it was definitely not. Okay, where was it? Brightness, alt click, and with the pick whip, pick the slider right there. Just click. And you can see that the lens flare is gone because there is almost no audio coming out. And now go and do the same on the other lens flare and the other side. Effects, optical flares, brightness, alt click on stopwatch, and with a pick whip, pick the slider. and now again, and also that side goes out. Okay, so we're done with this, and you can see that as the audio goes, as they're like louder audio, the lens flare goes in more. And obviously you can change the volume, like, you know, something crazy, like, I don't know, 400, so it's really bright. But just to show you how this works, I would say this is really good. Okay, so now let's go back to song here, and we have to adjust again. But this time we need to adjust it for our particles. And so pretty much I'm gonna leave these values 1 and 74 the same, but here I'm gonna change. So 1 is basically that there will be one particle generated, and here how, like, when the audio will reach that highest point of 74, how much particles do you want to be generated? Like, for example, I have only 100, so at the highest point right here, it will generate 100 particles. And you can type, like, I don't know, like, as much as you want, but the render time can be slower by that. So I'm gonna type 500. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this. Actually, I'm gonna cut it. So Control X, go to main, and I'm gonna pass it right here. I'm gonna rename it particles audio. So I'm gonna turn these on, and I'm gonna go to effects, drop also this down, effects, particular, and particles, and here we emitter, and here we have particles per second. So alt click, and with pick whip select the slider, and now you can see that it generated more particles. You see, as the bass or the audio is louder, the more particles it does generate. And I want to find a part where, and as you can see, for example here, although the composition goes on, there are no particles, and that's because we set it to 1. There are particles generated, but only 1 per second. So maybe I'll find a place where you can know. Okay, but yeah, you can pretty much, if you don't like it, you can just go and adjust these values. Like, okay, I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna set it to, let's say, I don't know, like 900. Okay, well, I don't know if that changed a lot. Yeah, it did. Okay, so yeah, you can pretty much see how does it affect the composition. So, and pretty much, like, the audio right now is generating everything. All the particles, all the lens flares, everything is just generated from the audio you have. You don't have to pretty much do anything. It is really automated. You obviously have to work with it at start, but if you get if you understand how it works, it is really easy to do, and you get a really great effects, and you can pretty much do anything with it. Like, I don't know, I'm just gonna create this shape right here. Okay, and I'm gonna go to, let's see, I'm gonna go to transform, and let's see, lens flare audio, and I'm gonna alt click on the scale, and with a pick whip select the slider, and just look, it increases with the bass. It goes out and it's out. Look, see, here it's like that, and here it's like that. So you can pretty much just use it however you want. Yeah, so I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. I will be able to give out this template, but just keep in mind that it is not automated, and you will have to do all of the keyframes of the audio by yourself for each separate song. So this, if you use the same keyframes for a different song, it will not match, and it will look a little bit, well, probably a lot, it will look just odd. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, because oh my god, how long did I sit in front of a computer? But yeah, so make sure you give it a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to me. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them down below in comments, and I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.